Hello everyone and welcome to Lowrentrick scale modelling, and this is my build of the 1/48 scale Airfix Supermarine Spitfire Mk.Vb. Before we get going, if you don't mind, please consider subscribing and giving the video a like and a comment. It really helps me out and helps my channel to grow. Now, my research says that this kit is from around 94, although some sources say 96. If you've got any information on this particular kit, please do drop it into the comments. I do like to learn about the kits as I go along. Now, this kit has already been started by someone. It's part of a job lot of kits that I'm assembling for a person for the Coast Watch charity in Lincolnshire. So this kit has already had somebody had a go at it. I don't know how long ago, but I do know that they've used some petroleum glue, something like a Boss stick or something. So there's lots of glue residue knocking about, and some of the parts are pre-assembled. So I am going to take these bits apart and clean them up and put them all back together. And that's assuming, of course, that all the bits are indeed here. It's good to see that the old box does come with a couple of flying hours, and they are still valid, so even if they're really old you can still use them. So matching up what I've got in terms of parts and what was rattling around in the box and the pre-assembled bits, it does look like I've got all the pieces, matching it up to the instructions. So at least I won't get halfway through and find a major component missing, which is a bit of a bonus. But as I say, I will start stripping down these pre-assembled pieces and then putting them together with a bit of a better glue. Now, taking these parts, apart might seem like a bit of a waste of time, but the petrol glue, the Bostik, it leaves a nasty residue, so some of the parts won't fit. And also, even though some of them are glued, they're still quite loose. So it's not a great glue for these finer applications. I'll try and get as much detail back on the pilot as I can after I've scraped all the glue off. Use a bit of extra thin to burn away any residue and any file marks, and do the best job I can of him. I'm priming here using Galeri's very brand new Kaleido Colourworks white primer. It's not available in the shops yet. I've had a set on test for a few weeks. It does come out in the first week of August, so I'll link the video below when that's complete and when it's ready for sale. And also for the underside, I've used their Colourworks blue, which is an amazing paint, low odour, a semi-gloss finish. It's absolutely fantastic, but I will link the video once I've done a proper review on it. The inspiration for the colour scheme came from the internet and this tropical Spitfire here, so I've taken that as sort of a basis for how I'm going to paint up. Feels good to have a paintbrush in my hand too. I really do like to keep banging on with the paintbrush. I think it's one of those things that you'll use it or lose it, and each time I paint something small or in detail I feel like I get better. So I think it's important not to just be completely channeled down by using the airbrush or completely channeled to using the brush. I think a combination of the two. It's something that I like to develop and I hope I get really good at one day, brush painting and airbrushing. But at my current standard, it's something I like to keep the practice up and keep going, especially with the figures. I think it's a good option to get the brush going and add those little flares and those little details and get those muscles trained. Had a little bit of trouble when it came to the fuselage and cockpit pieces fitting together. There's a slight bit of warping going on with one side of the fuselage, So when it came to actually seating in the cockpit pieces, they were a little bit out of whack when it came to lining them up together. So I had to use a little bit of jiggery pokery and a bit of brute force and a little bit of creativity to get them to fit together properly. But it all came good in the end. It has to be said the rest of the kit fit together perfectly. Considering its age and everything, it actually did go together really well. Um, the blue that I've chosen on the top colour, the dark blue, is the Vallejo Model Air blue, the 71004, and I love using it. It's one of those lovely colours that really does set a model off. A few people that have seen it said, you should have used the pin wash over the top, something like a light grey pin wash. But for this job, I thought, and I'm going to leave it. I'm going to leave it like this. It's all about choices. It's all about your model and how you want to paint it. And although the writing, I think it might have looked really good, I wanted to leave this one just as it was. Once I've got the main body, the wings and the fuselage all fit together, I'm just going to sand down a few of the rougher edges and give it a bit of a touch up. I tend to do a base coat and then go over again once I've got it together, just to bring the coat and the finger marks or any glue marks or any sanding. Just give it another coat over, and I tend to get really good results doing it that way. There's a real divide in the community about painting parts on the sprue or on the tree, or painting once assembled, or painting before assembled, and it's all down to you. It's all down to how you like to do it. I really do stick to that mantra in everything that I do when it comes to modelling. However you find it best to do, and some suggestions are always welcome. It's generally just how you feel comfortable doing it, and if it works for you. But you should always try different methods. I've tried many different methods, and at the moment, this is the one that works for me. When it came to the final fix of the wings and the fuselage, that slight warp in one side did rear its ugly head again. So when I got the glue set around it, I did decide to pin it up with some spring clips, and then apply a bit of weight to bend it into the right direction, just while the glue set. A bit of improvise, adapt, and overcome. And when it had set, it was absolutely fine and lined up. Back on with the brush painting, a little bit of detail on all the ancillary bits, the wheels and the exhausts. This is Vallejo's Model Air Steel. Their metallic range is absolutely fantastic. The coverage is like no paint I've used. Even without primer, it generally only needs one coat, and you get a really good metallic finish. For the prop parts in the red and yellow, I'm going to use the Kaleido Colorworks paint again, from Galeri, because they go on so well, and the finish is that lovely semi gloss, and it's extremely hard wearing. So painting nose cones can be a bit of an issue sometimes to get the paint coverage just right. It can be a little bit of a chore, a bit of a nose to get it correct. But when this stuff dries, it tightens down so well and gives a really hard wearing finish too. Once the prop is reassembled, it looks really good. And the wheels themselves, obviously, I've never had a pair of wheels that come in two halves that assemble together without a good seam on them. So I'll just sand that back, and once it's set, the glue's set, I'll just go around it again with the brush. Using Ammo's Ultra Liquid Mask for the canopy. It's great stuff. I've only recently started using it, and now I wouldn't be without it. But I do still sometimes try and push them by hand, just to keep the eye in. But I get much better results using the liquid mask. The bottom coat using the Kaleido Colourworks blue is an extremely tough finish. It really is. Even when it comes to sanding, once you've sanded it off using an appropriate grade of paper, the filling of the paint when it comes to covering any slight scratches is absolutely perfect. Once the whole assembly is done, I'm going to go over the lot with a gloss varnish before decals, and then once the decals are on, I'm going to give it a coating of possibly matte, Vallejo's water-based matte. But first of all, to give the decals a good key, something to stick to nicely, I'm going to use the gloss varnish. The decals are in a bit of a state, but I'll do what I can and mix it up with some of my spares. So it might end up as a bit of a hybrid, this one, but I'm sure we'll end up with something looking quite good. So I found some decals in my spares kit that'll do the job just well. The side numbers, I haven't got anything to replicate, so I'm going to have to use the tatty ones that came with the kit, but I don't mind that at all, as long as it looks something like approachable. It's not bad for a rescue kit, even though not much of it was done. I'd rather see it built than sat rotting in its box in a shed somewhere. I know people are a little bit reticent to mess about with kits that people have started, but I've really enjoyed doing this one, and it's nice to see another Spitfire get built. Um, these kits are just fantastic. There's a bit of nostalgia to them. It's where I started, and I've really enjoyed putting this one together. So despite the mismatched colours and the bit of silvering with the decals and the decals being mismatched, I think we've come away with a reasonably decent model. I'm really pleased with it. I'm going over now with the matte varnish. As you see, the gloss will just tighten down off it a little bit. And I'm really pleased with it. I think it looks great. The midnighty blue colour and the wonderful contrast to the light blue underneath. And once that mask comes off, if I'm careful enough, the canopy will look good too. And there we have it, another one done. I think it looks quite pretty. That's the Spitfire 1/48 scale Mk.Vb, done in a sort of tropical colour, as close as I can do it with the paint that I've got. Much better than sat half done in the box for decades and decades. Thank you for joining me for another video. I hope you've enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed making it. Please do consider liking and subscribing. It really helps me out, helps my channel to grow. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next video.